Good morning, Year 9, and welcome to Averages, the Basics video lesson. Okay, so before we go any further afield, can you remember what the three averages are? Bit of a clue there, they all begin with M, and this one's not an average, and that's really important. It's not an average, but it's always associated with them and it begins with R. Pause, fill it in, and then unpause, and I'll go through it. Okay, so I'll go through it now. We have got mean, doesn't matter which order you did it, of course, mode, and median. And then the one that is not an average, but is often lumped in with them, is the range. So let's talk a little bit more about all of these. Obviously, if you wrote it in a different order, just fill in next to wherever you wrote mean. Okay, so mean. This is the one where you add them all up, so you've got a total, and then you divide by the how many there are. Frequency is a fancy way of saying that, but I'm just going to write how many. Okay, so mean is the total divided by how many. All right. People remember that as the meanest at this stage because it's got, you could end up with quite a nasty number there. It's a little bit more difficult than the next two to do. But as we get on to more trickier things, then it's not always the hardest one actually. But for now, that's a good way to remember it. The mode is the most common or most popular, if you prefer to write, however you remember it. And I like to underline those because it's saying mode most. Okay, mode most. It's not the biggest. Remember that. A lot of people think, oh, it's the biggest. Mode is the most common. So if I've got, say, 2, 2, and 8, 2 is the most common. So that's the mode. You can also, just a little note, you can get something called bimodal. Now, like bicycle means two wheels, bimodal means two modes. So if you had 3, 3, in fact I'll put an example, e.g. 3, 3, 7, 7. Let's put that in. Okay, 3, 3, 7, 7. The modes, there's two modes, 3 and 7. But also you can get with modes, no modes, if you've got something like 4, 7, 9. Alright, if it's 4, 7, 9, there's no modes there. Alright, but if you had 4, 4, 4, 4, there's only one number, but that is still the mode. Okay, so if there's only one of every number, you don't get a mode at all. Right, the median now, we remember this as the middle number. Make sure you order it first. Order first, that's really key. Okay? So if you've got, let's put some numbers in order, 5, 7, 11, 12, 18. Then the median is 11. If, however, you've got, so that's 1 e.g., if you've got two middle numbers, 8, 12, 15, 26, you're going to need to find the middle of the two middles. To do that, you add them together and half it. 27 halved is 13.5. Now, some of you would have realised that 13.5 is in the middle of 12 and 15. That's absolutely fine. There's 3 between them. You half it. That's fine. But when it gets to really nasty ones, it's a good idea to add them together and half it. Okay? Right. And finally, the range is just the biggest number, whatever the biggest number is, take away the smallest number. Okay, not my sound effects there. Okay. And so if I had 3, 7, 11, and 19, you do 19 take 3, which is 16. I feel like I should do an example for the mean, as I've done an example for everything else now. So let's just say we had e.g. 10, 4, and let's go with 4, 10, 4 and 4, add them all together, divide it by how many there are, 18 divided by 3, 6. Okay, so there you have a screenshot there of all the examples, everything. If you want to have a quick pause and copy anything down, feel free to. Okay, so it's taken a while of me talking, we should be going through the examples relatively quick. So it doesn't say that there, but what it's asking, what it would ask an exam is something like it would ask them individually. It wouldn't say find all the averages. Normally it would say find the mean, find the mode, find the median. It could A, B, C, or it would tell you some of them, obviously. Find the range, whatever it is. So let's go with the mean first. Well, I add those all up together and divide by how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 17, 28, 35, 40. Divide by 5, which is 8. Okay. The mode next. You've got 2 7s and no other repeats, so the mode is 7. Median, you need to order first. And actually, ordering it does help you with the mode and the range a bit as well, because you can see which ones are next to each other and which ones at the end and the start sort of thing. So feel free to order anyway. I like to sort of almost like tick them off as I go through, just so obviously with 5 numbers I'm not going to miss one, but you can have a lot more numbers than that, so it's a good idea to get in practice. And then the median is down the middle, so I'm going to cross off the first and last, second, now the first and last again until I get to the middle, and that gives me the median as 7. And finally the range is the biggest, which is 11, take away the smallest, which is 5, which gives us 6. Okay, I'll just shut the door. Right. Okay, so next one. A little bit trickier, obviously, example I've gone for now. 12, 12, 8, 8. The mean, not too bad for this one. Add them all up. 12 plus 12 plus 8 plus 8, which is 40. Divide by, there's 4 of them, so 40 over 4, 10. You can get, of course, with mean some nasty numbers. I tend not to try to make you do them, but with a calculator, you obviously get some really horrible ones. Mode. It's bimodal because there's 2 modes, 8 and 12. You could write it at 12 and 8, it doesn't matter the order, it just makes sense to write the smallest one first. Next stop, median. So if I order them smallest to biggest, cross out the end ones together, and hang on, we've now got 2 middles. So we do the middle of that by adding them together and halving it, giving us 10. Or we can just work out to see what's in the middle of 8 and 12, can't you? Okay, but for more difficult examples, it's really good to have that method there. Add them together, it's meant to be a star, and divide by 2. Right, and then finally the range is the biggest, take the smallest. So that's that. Okay, right, let's give you some practice now. There's the 3 practice questions. I would like to find the mean, the mode, the median and range for all of them. Pause it, and then off you go. Then unpause it, and you can watch me go through the answers. Okay, here's me going through the answers. So, I've already got them in order in this one. Mean. Add them all up. Divide by the 5 because there's 5 of them. 15, 28, 41, 52, 60 divided by 5, which is 12. Then the mode is 13. The median, well, they're already in order, so we just need the middle one, n2, next 2, and you're left with 13. So actually, now the mode and median we've noticed a couple of times have been the same. They're not always the same. So do remember this. Don't ever think, oh, they're always the same. That it would not be correct. And the range, biggest take smallest, 15 take 8, 7. By the way, you might have noticed the averages always have to be in between and including the smallest and the biggest number. The range could be, but doesn't have to be. Okay. Next question. Let's put it in order first, just to help us with whichever ones it helps us with. 4, 6, 6, 14. All right. Mean. This is the only one it doesn't really help for it to be in order, but that makes 10, 16, 30. And I'm going to divide that by 4. And like I said, it doesn't always have to be a whole number. Okay, it could be a lot nastier than that. Mode. The mode is going to be the most popular, so there's 2 6s, so that's 6. The median in this case is the middle of the 2 6s. Now, what's in the middle of 6 and 6? Well, it's just 6. If you're not sure about that, just add them together. 6 plus 6, 12. Half it, 6. And then the range is 14, take 4, biggest take smallest, which is 10. And then the last question I gave you for practice. Let's get this ordered. Well, we've got 3, 3, 5, 8, 11, 12. If we've ordered them. The mean of that, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 5 is 11, 19, 30, 42 is there. And I'm going to divide that by 6. This gives me 7. The mode is the ones that come up the most, which is 3 has come up twice, but the rest haven't, so it's 3. The median, of course, off the biggest and smallest, and the next biggest and next smallest, and then we're left with 2. So we need to add those 2 together and half it, giving us 6.5, because 5 plus 8 is 13, half it is 6.5. And the range is the biggest take the smallest, 12 take 3, which is 9. Boom, mic drop. Okay? Well done, guys. And any questions, as always, please do put a comment on Show My Homework. See you later, guys. Have a good one. Bye.